just like everything on the show, second takes
worked.
just as good as the first takes, only the second one.
Only the second one.
Less energy. We don't know what's going on.
Wait, hold on.
All right, what?
There we go.
I would fix your chair.
Yeah.
Everybody, welcome to In Production, the live crap show. Feels like crap show today. Woo! Vacations. Ruining
Already
life.
drank all the way.
Yeah. Welcome to In Production. So, we had technical difficulties. For some reason, we crossed the streams, Ray. We did cross the streams. So, welcome to the show. Today, we're going to talk about a couple of things. We are a little bit, disheveled. We both had a nice holiday break.
Yeah.
I went to Asheville, North Carolina, slammed so many beers, and consumed a single biscuit worth 1,250 calories. It was delightful.
It looked delightful.
And I drank a beer immediately after. That was at 9 in the morning. It was insane.
You're on vacation. That's breakfast beer time.
Yeah, it is breakfast beer time. Asheville, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Amazing place. Beautiful place. Lots of beer. Good food. Anyway, so we're coming back from vacay.
Yep.
Jeff just
Worked
took some time off.
Pretty much. I worked, drank.
Jeff made HDR content that will someday be released. We're excited about it.
In a few days.
Yeah, in a few days.
We'll get that one on.
Anyway, we are live and not expected to be live. We didn't expect to do a show.
Yeah, we didn't expect today.
I didn't know what time I was getting back, but I got up super early just for the Craft Show community, which is the greatest community on the internet. And I can say that with scientific fact because we've been secretly studying you, because as soon as you sign up for YouTube, we get your metrics. And with those metrics, we now know everything possible about you, especially you, Brain Vision. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
I know where you live. Oh, well, that's because you called me.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Good
let's pop
right
up the
there.
chat ski. It's probably half working because
It's working?
that's how we roll. Well, I don't know. I might have closed it. I think I figured it out.
We are doing Sierra Nevada, Trip in the Woods. That actually kind of works with your trip in Asheville.
Yep.
Barrel Aged Series. It is a beer to guard, aged in barrels.
Aged in barrels.
What kind of
That's what we
barrels?
like.
Doesn't say. It is a 9.8%.
How much?
9.8.
Oh, crap. I didn't know that. Oh, well.
We're not recording this live show today.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a hidden stream. That's a hidden show. All right, look, I think.
See here.
Bam! Science! It's done. We have the comments up in the box.
Awesome. I'm trying to
Probably
read
not
brains
updated.
while pouring, which is kind of interesting. Vlog to 709 for 35 for 100. Have you ever used it? I have not used that one.
We'll talk
actually.
about LUTs one day. We'll go into detail. We actually have some LUTs we're going to give away once
have
we
some
finally
stuff
launch our
coming.
Patreon package. And then we'll also have them for sale at a cheap price of $19,226.
Oh, look.
That's pretty, almost a perfect pour.
Almost perfect. With,
Almost a perfect pour.
I came close.
Yeah, look, I like to use LUTs on occasion, like if it's on my laptop or whatever. I'm very particular about setting the look and then being able to maintain that look for broadcast reasons. That's how my brain works, because that's what we deal in a lot, is a lot of broadcast content. So web is kind of a crapshoot. I can't control how you have poorly set up your computer, and I can't control that.
Broadcast is kind of the same way. Yeah, there's
standards.
variable standards, that you can use.
But I have no issue with LUTs. I think they're fine and dandy, but I just personally don't do a lot with them because I have Jeff. I have the human LUT machine, Jeff Worthy. That's your new wrestling.
There we go. I'll take it.
Did you try this yet?
I haven't tried it yet at all.
So cheers, everybody, for a Tuesday.
Yeah.
After Turkey Thursday.
Pretty delightful.
Woo!
It's definitely strong.
That's a punchy one.
Yeah.
That's a punchy one.
Are we planning to get the Gh5s right away?
Oh, we'll talk about that. That's going to be one of our topics.
that
We'll
was the
bring it up because I
question,
have access to a very rare exclusive photo stolen off the internet. This is a Gh5s right here. Hopefully you guys can see it. There's a ton of great features, especially in this section right here. There's an extended piece that comes out that I'm really excited about showing it off. But yeah, here it is, the Gh5s. We had one early. We've had one for a while. We're very excited to talk about it. Again, the magic is just around this area with the coupler that they sent it. In addition to, I kid.
You're trolling so hard.
I'm trolling.
You're trolling our own
a
show.
Baby Seal Troll forced our own forced troll show.
They
Anyway.
did, Scott R. It looks exactly like the GH5, the one that we have.
It is.
Even just says GH5 on it.
Panasonic. I'm not lying. It's a GH5, not S. I have just a regular camera. I'm making a troll joke.
I can
Mine is actually, this is a GH5L. Anyway, today on the show we're going to talk about the through line. If you don't know what the through line is, you should. So we'll go over some of that. We're also going to talk briefly about the Gh5s, which will be mostly an interactive chat conversation that probably is going to feel like a podcast, this episode will. We're also going to announce our very first contest that the live stream viewers will get an advantage over anyone listening to this or watching this on the post show.
True.
Right?
True.
So the live stream will get a competitive advantage because they tuned in live. But we do have a contest with actual prizes, and these are very rare prizes at the moment. We're debating on how rare we make these prizes.
Yeah.
But
right now they're very rare
Yeah.
because nobody has them.
that's correct. They're world exclusive
Yeah.
one-offs.
We don't even have them yet.
No, we might even make variations so that they can never
Yeah.
exist again. So
That's
the
what we
prize
should
ones,
do.
yeah. So the prize-winning ones will only exist a very special way, so that one day when nothing else matters, you can brag about having one of these two items.
Yeah.
Because they're custom.
They are custom.
Yeah. I'm happy with GH5, but imagine the GH5S with Super 35 EF mount and all those beautiful Sigma art lenses, wank material. That's an interesting point, Switchback. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about all that we think that it is, using as much speculation powers and false rumories as we can muster.
At some of the stuff that actually...
no idea on it.
Yeah, because I haven't done anything on that.
Are you saying it? No, we're not saying it.
No, we're not saying it at all.
We're
Because
not
I'm pretty
saying-
sure it's
we're-
not going to.
We will talk. Yeah, they will. The chances of them shifting over to putting an EF mount on that camera are slim to none.
Yeah.
I just don't think that Panasonic would abandon an entire lens format. Let's just talk about marketing. Let's talk purely about marketing. They are a company that sells a product and needs you to buy marketable materials, or they're going to market materials. First off, let's show you that super secret photo that everyone's already
Yeah,
seen.
because apparently we're going to this right now.
Look at this crap. Here it is, the super secret shot. Everybody's been waiting for this blurry image from 43rumors.com.
You know what's kind of cool? It kind of looks like what we already have.
Yeah, straight stole off the internet. That is my favorite thing. That picture going around and people just like, that's like some Star Wars Last Jedi obsessive, like really diving into details that may or may not matter. So in this particular instance, I don't know why Panasonic. So first off, let's talk about this. Let's break it down this way. Let's talk about the mount. I believe the mount's going to be MFT, and it's going to stay the exact same thing, because what they're doing is taking a GH5, I imagine, are taking a GH5 and tweaking some things, probably inside of the engine that runs the camera. I'm sure it's some kind of software thing or like an update scenario. They're doing something like that. I think it's going to be the exact same sensor. They're just going to give us some kind of tweaks inside of that space.
Yeah.
I think that the mount will therefore be the same, because what they're not going to do as a big company is put something that can directly compete product for product, just spec for spec. They're not going to release something that is spec for spec as good as the Evil One, right? And that's kind of their flagship, next to obviously the big boy being the VariCam, but the Evil One is the big medium-sized camera for that space. So I don't think they're going to compete against that. They put EF on that. I could be totally wrong. This is all speculation.
Yeah.
So I think the first thing it'll have is, I think it'll stay, as far as the lens mount goes, it'll stay...
It'll stay Micro Four Thirds.
Totally
It'll
Micro
have
Four
to.
Thirds. Makes no sense.
No,
They've already invested a ton of money in those lenses, and I think they're going to continue to push those lenses onto this camera body.
Yep.
Right? Because they have that relationship with Leica and their own glass, that they're going to keep that relationship moving forward.
Exactly.
I think that if it does have a low light scenario of any sort of increased ISO, maybe they've found a way, after releasing the initial GH5, that they've found a way to kind of tweak the sensor via the engine, the processing on the inside.
Yeah, I bet it's the processing thing.
And it's probably
It's the
something
same
they
sensor,
figured
but-
out when they were building the Evil One and realized they could put it into this camera. So instead of doing it as a software upgrade, they're doing it as a hardware upgrade, if you will.
Or
by
things
asking-
that they found out from doing OpenGate and all the new version 2.0s, and then find things that they couldn't do.
I think they're probably... I don't... The MPEG says dual ISO. I don't think it's powerful enough for dual ISO. I don't know. I could be totally wrong. Again, all this is speculation.
It'd be awesome if it did. I just don't see how they would put that into the GH5 line.
Yeah.
The dual ISOs.
What I think would be interesting is if something happened and they lost the internal stabilization. So that goes away, and it becomes some sort of replacement inside of that to balance it out lighting wise. I don't totally know, but like as far as the image capture, somewhere in that space that goes away. And if there is a new sensor or an upgraded form of what's already in the GH5, I don't know the technical terms. Go ahead and pixel peep it. I don't really care. I just want it to work. But inside of that, whatever that new sensor is, I wonder if they sub that out and maybe get rid of the stabilization, and that allows for something else to happen to then increase light input to go that route. Dual ISO would be cool. I just don't know if it has the horsepower. I'm just not sure.
I don't either. I do hope
and that does compete with the EVA 1, so I don't know if that's going to be it.
I agree.
I don't think you're going to see any feature that competes with the EVA 1.
Yeah.
I really don't. So yeah, so we'll see if like it's made of carbon fiber. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Do you ever price the red carbon fiber? It's it's a pretty big upgrade.
The one thing I do agree with a few people in here, Scott R's the last one that said it, is that I do find the timing myself to be a little immature.
It is a little suspect. Early. It's a little frustrating.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
It's a little early.
It's a little frustrating.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I saw.
There he goes.
The biggest thing I saw is that people wanted it to be. Were concerned about the autofocus issue again. It's like.
Yeah, a lot of people talking about that I've seen on some of the user groups on Facebook.
And maybe that is important. Maybe it is.
Yeah.
Maybe it really is. I will tell you, I am more and more. My biggest complaint about the GH5 is the focus. I hate the focus peaking inside of that camera. I find it to be the biggest bunch of lies on the planet, including using that Sigma lens. I think it's garbage. Now, I'm spoiled. I'm used to shooting cine lenses, and I'm used to that where I can kind of judge my distance and not have to use a... Can you change that? Is something you can change? If the GH5S has the ability to change from mountain to flower, and I can change it to effing feet and distance, I'd be really happy with that. I don't know if that's a setting that's already there. I don't care. I do care now, but I would love
the whole focus by wire thing that would go away.
I understand.
I know.
I would love distance.
I'd love it, but we're still talking the same thing. Switch back here. Maybe Leica wants Panasonic to use full frame lenses, and that's why a new lens mount. That and the focus by wire autofocus problem is it's just such a small digital SLR camera. Yeah. You're competing with EVA at that point, or larger cameras. So why would they jeopardize their GH line to do that?
No, I agree.
Yeah.
There's a flash port on the front. Maybe they can sub something out for that.
Yeah.
Like they could.
I have a feeling it's going to get rid of a lot of the photo stuff.
Yeah, I think it's going to streamline the photo stuff away.
It's going to go way more video.
So it's just going to be I tell you what would be killer is another, somehow finding a way of putting another HDMI like somewhere.
I would love for that HDMI to do actually do two things. One is HDMI 2B, so it's high speed.
Okay. So if that's a big upgrade. If it has to be hardware and it can't be firmware.
And then also, I think that problem might fix your 6K open gate anamorphic monitoring.
Now that's one thing that
to me
could be.
Make it work.
So the GH5S could be the model that they release 6K open gate, and you can actually do external monitoring.
Yeah.
Because that means they could fix
that would be awesome.
Because if without having to worry about the photo side, that gives the camera a little more horsepower, and that's what Matt said to all of us on the interview. Matt said the reason why is it didn't have enough horsepower to output that through.
Yeah.
We've confirmed that now coming out, and everyone knows it. So what would be cool is if they update the HDMI to being B, which is what allows for a bigger data rate through. So if they upgrade that to B and HDR, you can actually do HLG and HDR10.
Yeah.
Will carry through that, which means you could then run straight into a Shogun, giving you HDR10 content from the go, which means you could bake in a LUT if you wanted to while you're shooting, or at least have a preview LUT, which would be delightful. Mm-hmm. The other side of that could be that if that's the case, then maybe 6K anamorphic high res is finally unlocked for all of us to use on a bigger level, because basically you're talking about this knob is going to change. I have a feeling at GH5S, this knob becomes something, it's a complete series. Yeah. It's different up top here. It's going to be a whole nother beast. Obviously, I think it's still going to have some photo capabilities because I think, again, that's what it is.
It'll have some, yeah.
I think it's going to be very limited. Instead of it being a hybrid, it's going to be more focused, right?
You're going to have the GH5 and then the G9
The G9 is more
and
focused.
then
Photo
the
focused.
G5.
This is your hybrid,
Gh5s.
and then you have the two pieces.
Yeah. They're pulling Sony.
I'd love it if they added some sort of port where there were peripheral accessories somewhere down the road. Yeah. What's the comment? What are we saying in the comments?
A lot of people now HDMI 2B and SDI. Sully brought that up first.
I'm not wearing makeup. I've been in the mountains.
And I would love for SDI to be on it completely, but it's not going to be on a GH5. It's too big of a thing to throw onto a small camera like that. I agree with Charbax. I go back and forth on autofocus with everybody because Johnny Bravo saying something here. I don't use autofocus ever. Drew's tried it out a few times just to see what the whole thing was. I hate it, but I do agree with Charbax that Panavision or Panasonic. Everybody says Panny in that. I'm used to Panny being Panavision. I personally think that it needs to be upgraded just for the casual person that's going to buy it, but
yeah, but here's my point. Somebody brought up a great point.
Person.
Like, if you're going to release a camera that's changing massive amounts of functionality, call it GH6. That's why I'm telling you,
exactly.
They're not going to change that much in the camera. I think it's going to be little things.
I think it's a hardware thing. I really do.
I agree. I think there's going to be some kind of input level that'll be new. I also believe there will be some level of like sensor shift. Obviously, they've talked about potentially better low light. I don't think it's dual ISO because I think that'll be held for EVA 1 and their pro level products. I don't think it'll be on their prosumer products, but on their professional stuff. But I do think there'll be potentially some, I hope, some sort of new input selection as far as getting information into the camera. I also think it would be amazing if again, I'm recapping this for you, Ichi, if the 6K high-res anamorphic, because the HDMI on the side now is HDMI 2B, which means which means you could now potentially monitor both HDR and 6K high-res anamorphic. You could actually monitor that because you don't have the photo component of the camera working as hard or existing hardly. We talked about from cosmetics. I think this wheel will change. I think it'll be something different altogether. There may be some other bits down here, though. I find this functionality great. I mean, maybe they fixed the display button. What if the Gh5s is for no other reason?
Just to fix
they just get rid of the display button. What if they do it? And then in genius of genius, they put the display button right here. So it's right on the front. So then all of a sudden you're like, okay, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and roll camera. And then you just constantly hit it from here. And you're like, I wish it was on the back again. I don't know. I'm just saying, I think they're going to do something with it pretty awesome. But I'm a little pissed off at them because I just bought a second GH5. We're broadcasting on a GH5, and then we have a second GH5, and I don't want to have to go buy a third one if it has some features that we actually want. I think that, to me, is a little bit irritating, honestly, if it is a major feature. Yeah. If it's a major series of features. If it's features that all have workarounds, then YouTube will be inundated with how to work around and get the same effect as a G. And I'm sure me and Jeff will lead the pack on that bullshit.
Probably.
High fives. That's how we roll.
Bleep out we're gonna have to do.
Nah, who cares? I have a problem with shittle.
Yeah, that wasn't shittle though.
I didn't say
no. Now you have.
I had the cup over my face. You won't know.
Whatever. It's one of those days.
It's mostly adults watching. We only got 54 people watching? Yeah, wow, okay. Well, our trash talk about the GH5S.
Actually, Victor Bart has shown up. We could just ask Victor if he got with Casey Neistat and find out about this GH5S himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, Victor, in all seriousness, that was one of the greatest web episodes to me that I've seen.
Yeah.
Victor's? That was great.
Victor, I thought that episode was hilarious.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
I thought it was one of the best ones I've seen in a long time.
Yep. All right. So Charbox says GH5S has 4K 120p, 4K 60 at 10-bit. Well, if that's it, then I don't need one because I could care less about 4K 120p. Like I agree. Like VFR wise, I don't understand everyone's obsession with shooting all this stuff super slow-mo. I guess if you're not using it for a practical purpose and it's just to like go out and play and have fun with the camera, that's awesome. I think it's a great thing. But if you use it for any sort of professional, practical purpose, I rarely have any instance where the entire job requires me to do that.
Very true. I would rather have 48.
Yeah! You know what? I'll buy a GH5S if it gives me true 48. Like 4K 48. And I don't mean 4K UHD. I'm talking about true 100% 4K 4096 by 2160 and it's 48 FIPS that I can then put into dreamy happy mode. I would take that all day.
I would take that.
I'd actually take, if they allowed you to dial in the frame rate up to 60, because that's what it needs to be.
Yeah.
Seriously, because 32 frames per second is weird.
Uh-huh.
And there's times where we've seen that work very, very, very well for that dreamy sort of
Yeah.
spacey vibe for
True.
the lifestyle content. The funny thing is, everyone's going to say that the GH5S, the one thing I will say is everybody, we just did it, is going to say what they want it to do.
Yeah,
that only
exactly.
benefits them.
Yeah.
And you got to look at the
That's
entire
why I
big
started
community.
to do autofocus.
So it could be autofocus.
Because
I'm going back on what I've said.
the whole entire community, that's been one of the biggest complaints.
There's
I
a
agree
swing in
with Ishii that I don't think that the trolls should get their way, but it is a large community voice.
Yeah.
You know, for Panasonic.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know at the end of the day what they're going to do with it. I just hope that it's more professional features, like things that lean it a little bit more towards a pro camera. Like, I mean, somebody brought up SDI. That'd be amazing. Can you imagine if that Limo? Let's just pipe dream. Let's say there's a Limo port somewhere on the camera, right? That comes with a new Limo port, and a pigtail comes off of that, and from that pigtail you have XLR, and then you have SDI, and then you have time code, and you then suddenly have a way of pulling. That's sick.
It would be amazing.
That is super sick, and it just pumps straight in. And it might be a custom Limo. It might be like an 8-pin Limo, but I wouldn't care.
But you could honestly, I think, I don't know, because I'm not an engineer. MPEG might be able to fix me on this. But I actually think that you could possibly do a battery grip that would have an SDI and time code based.
Yeah, does this engineering nerds? What is that? I know what that's for from the battery grip. That's
I know.
Could that carry data through it?
Yeah, it can control data. I just don't know if it can control sync, because you would have to have a sync crystal in it to be able to have true sync.
That'd be cool.
You know, but you could put the sync crystal into the battery grip.
Yeah.
You know, this is completely off the wall, everybody, because this is not what we were talking about, really. Because theoretically, if that works,
Jeff
you
is
can
now
put it on
designing
the
his own
GH5.
camera. It's going to be called the Beard Cam.
See, that is, again, going back to what you were saying. Everybody's telling what they want it to be.
Yeah, autofocus. If autofocus is that much of an outcry, and they're that, and Panasonic feels the pressure, I believe we will see some autofocus.
Scott R.
What's up?
He said it.
Oh, Vikings!
He did say it.
Espen!
I saw it. Espen is here. Oh, hold on. We might have to use... Yeah. There we go.
There, Espen. You're represented.
Yes. And Trevor, yes, we're pretty much playing football with this crazy rumor idea right now.
Yeah. I mean, nobody knows what it is.
Nobody has any clue.
I mean,
what is it? December 15th? Is that the date that it's supposedly being released? Because if so, I mean, we'll find out December 15th. That's not what.
But let me ask you guys this question. Everyone's like me. I even said, why not just release a GH5.6?
A GH6.
A GH6. It's kind of like Apple. Think about Apple and their whole iPhone garbage.
Yeah, it's a 6S.
6S, and that was a pretty big improvement. And people freaked out and went out and bought the 6S. So you know what? If Panasonic believes that people are going to go out and buy that camera, then they're going to do it instead of giving us a new model. And people do. They rush out and stand in line to buy an iPhone. And I don't get it. I'm a Samsung person who hates his phone. Yay, Samsung.
True.
Casey Neistat must make a ton of money on how much they give him to talk how great that Samsung. I don't even know where my
somebody
phone
in
is.
here said that
care.
apparently Casey has the GH5S or GH5S. You screwed me up with that GH5.6.
Yeah.
But so yeah, maybe we'll get that video dropped on that day.
Oh, that's good for them.
Yeah,
They probably paid a pretty penny for that.
Yeah.
You know.
But hey, whatever.
But whatever. Oh, well, if that's the case, well, then that tells us something. If Casey Neistat, if it is Casey Neistat who has it, it is going to be autofocus driven. So there you go. You now have your answer.
That actually is.
That means it's a vlogging camera, which is autofocus. So you now have your answer. It's going to be a camera for vlogging, and that means they probably got rid of. Now that we know that, I would say that they've now gotten rid of functionality that we all have. God, we sound drunk. That we've all enjoyed. Certain members of this group have enjoyed, like 6K anamorphic. I bet it's gone. It
could be. Well, it's possible because they have apparently lost. According to rumors, they have lost megapixel count for the low light.
Right. So basically, the GH5S is a vlogging camera. If Casey Neistat has it, that's what I'm telling you it is, and it's going to be about autofocus.
Or maybe the S stands for stupid, because that could be.
Yeah.
Or sensitivity is totally artistic. But that's true. I didn't even think about it that way, but you're probably right, honestly. If you give it to a vlogger.
No, I know. I'm not bashing
Yeah.
Casey Neistat. I watch all his videos. I enjoy him. I think he's a great storyteller.
actually,
I think he's great. And he
I
sold
love
his company to CNN for $15 million, and he's made tons of money.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that they still pay him. He does not work for free. Don't be fooled by that.
Yeah, he does not work for free.
Speaking of, we've lost our wooden camera handle, and I'm a little pissed about it.
We have
so if anyone finds one, please ship the Craft Show. Maybe it is. Maybe it's carbon fiber. Maybe they made him a custom one. Maybe it's a million things.
It is $1,000 more expensive according to.
It could be carbon fiber, and it could be the Casey Neistat edition. It's got little glasses. They replaced this little L down here with little glasses.
White glasses.
Little white glasses. Yeah. There's a complaint for the Evil One having autofocus issues. I'm not even going to talk about it.
No.
Like, I can't even wrap my brain around. If anyone buys an Evil One and complains about autofocus, then they've wasted their money. That's fact. That's absolute science fact.
I agree with that with the Evil One.
You bought a professional level camera, and if you're worried about autofocus, no, you're not. You're in the wrong business. Go back to a Gh5. That's what it's for. These are training wheels for bigger cameras, and whether you like it or not,
they are.
These are training wheels for bigger cameras. And the funny thing is, these are affordable, well-made training wheels that you can do a whole lot of shit with that you can't do on other cameras because it's small form. But when you go shoot a big boy camera,
and stuff like that.
That's why there's degrees. That's why Matt was so adamant about getting anamorphic into the camera. So if you buy an Evil One and are upset about autofocus, then you literally have wasted your money. Go back to some training wheels. Get some more training wheels. Go back. Learn to do it. Even shoot slow-mo without autofocus. Learn to pull focus. It's hard. But learn to do it because it will matter in your career later on down the road. I can't afford to miss a shot. And if I do miss a shot, then I get to say creative intent.
Or blame me.
or blame Jeff.
I've been blamed a few times in the past. Basic question still remains: how much light can you force onto a Micro Four Thirds sensor? If it were easy, wouldn't Red and Alexa have much better low light? Well, Red has done that. Well, PFs, they have one that's a low light with some of their newer cameras. Alexas, I don't think you're ever honestly going to see an Alexa that does great low light capabilities without true lighting. I think it's just part of that company. I don't think they're going to try and go for the run and gun style with that. If they do, it's going to be in a mirror. It's going to be an update to the mirror. Opinion on Bell's beer. We are Hop Slam fanatics.
Yeah, we can't wait for Hop Slam. I just wish away the holidays so that I can get to Hop Slam.
Yeah.
That's a Bell's beer product.
We do count down Hop Slam and go to the beer store every day waiting for it to drop.
I do need to find my phone. Yeah. It's good to see a lot of chatskis going on.
Yeah.
But while you're chatting, it's time for our very favorite segment. All right, so this is not That's What She Said, but the Baby Seal Troll Force endorsed Troll of the Week statement, which comes from some dude, I don't know his name, but if you remember a couple of weeks ago, we had a video that popped up that was, it was called We Shot Porn. And then we talked about what it was. Last week's video. And in that, we had lens porn, we had flower porn, we had food porn. It was a play on the idea that everybody looks at the same stuff and calls it camera porn. This gentleman posted, clickbait, bro, unsubbing, good luck. So I want you to think about that. We posted, we shot porn. That's not really clickbait. And if you think that that's clickbait, let's have a separate discussion about what is and what isn't clickbait. We did shoot lens porn, camera porn, video porn. If you know us, we talk about food porn and do that stuff all day long. To which I said, so you came for the porn. So my favorite thing is anytime anyone trash talked that video, they essentially said they literally came for the porn. Which to me is fine and dandy, but if you're truly looking for porn on YouTube, you must be in a country that doesn't allow you to have porn.
True. In
America.
Bye.
Yeah.
I don't want that guy. I don't
care.
care.
No, I mean, like, what do I care at that point?
No, I don't really care.
Like, if that is going to be how you try and spoil your day,
yeah.
Buddy, boy. Have a fun.
All right, we have a few craft shows here, but Sailing Rewind, this episode was brought to you by caffeine and amphetamines.
That's absolutely true.
All right, I got to go back up here a little bit more. Having a lot of different questions here. What do we think about that?
Hey, Trev, there's a question in there. Losing space. At Trev, or I'm sorry, well, Trev knows too, but at Ichidomo.
Ichi, yeah, Ichi
I'm not the best at the back end, we used actual anamorphic lenses that were non-adapter based, so they're PL mount based.
Yeah.
But if you want to know about the adapters, ask Trev or Ichi Domo. Especially I know Ichi knows. There might be other people, but Ichi is the guy that I would go to. So do an @Ichi and ask Ichi about.
Ichi's a good one for that.
For that stuff.
Did you suggest him go to Pornhub?
That's what I should have done. That would have been brilliant.
Yeah, it would get banned on YouTube, and that's not our style.
Sure, but you got it, McCoy. That's totally it. It is called marketing. The point of it is, I thought it was funny. I thought, to me, it's for our community. We watch the video, have a laugh at it, because we're literally comparing a Sigma and a Leica lens. It's literally acting like it's the greatest things in the world. But the idea was, sure, click the video. I didn't lie in the description and just say we shot porn. I actually say that's a Leica and Sigma lens test. I mean, it's in there. I'm very conscious of that crap when we do those titles. Casey Neistat is way more, if you want to compare.
Casey's a true clickbait dude.
Dude, his stuff is I divorced my wife.
But it is all marketing.
It is all marketing.
Completely marketing.
That's what the whole point of the stupid.
I know.
The problem is there's so much content on YouTube that you're competing with. If you put up something just straight up honest, sure, you get the people. But what happens is part of what we have to do as a channel and as a community is push outward. If we just kept it to the same 10 people, the issue becomes for us that we can't ever monetize it in a way to help benefit the amount of time we dump into it to justify doing it. So I want to get more money coming into the channel so that we can spend it on videos to help the community and or endorse the community and give money or gear or whatever away. We can't do that. I can't do that on our day jobs alone. I can't. I have a family. This has to help that. So if I don't get those numbers in to get advertisers or other garbage heads interested, then I cannot push it forward. It's just that simple. And that's what any of them are doing. There's no revenue in YouTube anyway. AdSense is a joke. There's no revenue. And we've spent it all back into the show, by the way. We've literally dumped every penny back in. I promised you that. Which leads me into my thing about through lines. I'm going to talk about this real quickly. So one of the things that I see a ton of videos, we watch them all the time. We see posted in the Gh5 Super Awesome Sauce 3000 462 degree creative group. We see videos in that. I see videos in the Gh5 groups. I see them on Red user groups. I see them in groups all over the place where everybody wants to show their video and they want to get a critique and they want to see stuff. And there's a common theme that I see in almost every single one of those videos is that it's absent of any sort of through line or narrative. So they've gone to all this trouble to shoot really amazing stuff, and it's very pretty and it's very awesome. But I think a lot of times without the narrative, without that hook, really, honestly ask yourself, how much do you commit to watching the video where you look at nothing else? And I'm not talking about where you're on your phone and you're driving and you're watching a YouTube video, or you're taking a crunch.
The Drew method.
And you're watching a YouTube video, or you scroll ahead. How many times do you touch the screen and scrolled ahead? I'm talking about you've decided to commit to that person's video for that time frame. I'm very guilty of barely doing it. I usually have content on in the background. I watch what I want from it. I move back and forth. This live stream, for example, is like a glorified podcast. And essentially, that's the same thing. I would put it on in the background. Our dear friend Jared Budlong, who's one of my personal friends from Budlong Media, puts it on in the background. So the catch to it all is, what is the through line that you're achieving? And the thing that is missing from 99.9% of the videos that we see, not all of them, there's some really great ones, but 99% of them, what is missing is a hook. There's no hook to lead me in. And what I mean by that is this, for example, absolute fact, wife will get pissed. So I'm in Asheville, North Carolina, because I think my wife is cheating on me. That's absolutely true. That's why we went to Asheville, right? So we went to Asheville. We planned a trip because our situation in life was a little bit challenging. So we go to Asheville for that exact reason, right? That's a through line. That's a hook. To me, if I see something about that and then the video starts, that's the intro piece, and I see that beat, and then the video starts, I want to know what's going on in that scenario, right? It's a question without a question mark. It's leading you into it. So the through line needs to reflect that. Now, it doesn't have to be a literal answer to that question or that statement. It can also be broken up into an idea of contextual images, the idea of juxtaposing imagery against sound, against other images. It's called editing. It's all about telling a story. Nobody will care what camera you shot it on because you're telling a story with
Shaking that sensor pretty hard right there.
Stone Cold style. It's more about telling a quality story, and I just want to encourage everyone to try and find that through line. You just got to seek the through line in order to set things up. And the easiest way to start doing that is obviously you have a concept when you go out, sure. But even after the fact is grabbing hold of pieces. Sometimes working as an editor is a very interesting career when you have no control over the footage coming your way. When you are just given pieces and you have to tell a story, you have to invent a story based on the parameters, it's a very wonderful exercise on just writing for video. It's writing content for motion. Because you have the content you might be able to supplement it, but chances are you can't match everything that you had. That's why it's a big deal when a film does reshoots, because to call back all of that momentum is nearly impossible unless it's a really big movie. So when a really big movie has reshoots, that means either someone messed up or the through line wasn't working from the editor. Somebody went through it and said, hey, the story, part A to part Z, alpha to Z is not congruent. It's all over the place. So how do we get it to line up where it flows seamlessly? And so there's a whole process of doing that. We've been on films with reshoots. I've never had the luxury of affording a reshoot. I've shot secondary pieces to tie things together.
You've done that.
I've done insert reshoots.
During the main shoot, though.
No, not convergence. I had a record player that was an insert.
Well, but when we do reshoots in that aspect to tie things together, it's well, a lot of that stuff's 2, 3 man, 4 man.
Oh no, it's some bullshit.
It's not let's recall the crew.
No, it's like, hey, can you do me a favor? Yeah. I'll buy you some beer. And
I've been lucky enough that people have had the reshoot. I've been, gotten onto it because crew members couldn't do it.
So I just wanted to talk about the through line and encourage you to, next video you make, even if it's just for fun. In fact, in the Gh5 Super Awesome Sauce 3,462 degrees creative group, there was a gentleman that posted a 1-minute video of himself in his room when he was sick. And it actually had one of the best through lines I've seen in a video in a long time. It was straight up narrative, right? I think each of you called him out for it.
Yeah.
It's all about the narrative. So even if you're doing a music video, find that narrative connection to tie it all together. And here's the funny part. As soon as you start finding those narrative connections and you start gluing those pieces together, even if they're a weird abstract piece, but you can find that's your artistry, that's your style, that's your moment, you'll also find that your content feels more cinematic, because cinema is based on hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of pre-production work of some asshat sitting around writing a script, going into development, whether it's via a studio or an independent side. Someone took a lot of time to develop that story, not just grab some footage, go outside, shoot some stuff, call it a camera test. That's the laziest filmmaking in the world. It's the same thing as when you go shoot a bunch of random abstract crap and call it a film that has no sequence whatsoever of narrative events. Though, you can make your argument being that I wanted to juxtapose these images. Well, then give me a reason why you need to juxtapose those images, and I guarantee you that the movie is more compelling in some way, shape, or form, unless you're the guy that did Baraka and Samsara, and he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah. Or Terrence Malick.
Or Terrence Malick. Yeah, Terrence Malick.
Because sometimes he throws some
none of his stuff makes sense. Tree of Life, I don't... It's okay. Yeah. My point is just trying to identify a through line and give us a hook in the beginning of the video to set me up. Give me that shot, even if it's visual language. See, a lot of people, I did auditory there, right? I had that little clip of me saying some really personal stuff about me and my wife. That's honest truth, right? So I used the truth. In a dimly lit shot that's underexposed, I really pushed the camera and just, who cares? That's the setup for what I want to play with. You may have something else. It might just be a shot, like a foot on the ground. There's a video, again, I'm going back to some great content I've been seeing from other people, but there's a video floating around. It's years old now, but it was a music video that was that dance video, Ichi, that choreographed video you showed up. And it was killer, but the opening shot was a girl in a car wreck. So you instantly had a hook on the very first shot.
Yeah.
If you don't get that hook on the first shot, no one is going to care about why they should keep watching it. And frankly, some people will leave. That's normal. But keeping that hook in place is what grabs you and pulls you in and keeps you going. And that applies to any content, whether you're making a vlog, whether you're making a narrative, whether you're making a music video, just a sizzle reel. Make sure that first shot is something inviting to keep them there, and know that you're going to limit and alienate some if it's like a sizzle reel type piece. If it's a weird performance art piece, give me a weird close-up, give me a setup, give me some reason why I should be there, and let it unfold. So, with that said, That's my rant on through lines. I want to challenge everybody to find a through line. We are going to kick off a contest. Now, I'm going to go ahead and preface this and say this. We actually have legitimate prizes that we're excited about. They're nothing major because we're not there yet, right? That's not who
there
we
yet
are.
at all.
We're working guys that we spend our own money to make this stuff happen.
And
we
as a
love
couple
this
people
community.
have said, we've had Patreon come a couple times in here.
Yeah.
So
It's going to happen. I just have to do it.
We're working our way into all that.
Patreon. Well,
this is part of what
Patreon is going to end up being
there.
basically like us giving so much stuff away that we're like, wow, okay.
I know.
It's going to be crazy when we get there. But for right now, all we can do is give certain things away. So we want to have a contest. I'm going to put some footage up. I shot at Cine D. I shot at All Eye Cine D. I shot some log. I shot some 4K 60. I shot a mix-up. I'm going to pick some clips. Me and Jeff and I are. We're going to throw them up there. It's from my trip to Asheville. I just want you to tell a story. If you want, I'll even throw the my wife is cheating on me piece in there. If you want to tell a story, you want to take the challenge, I'll throw that in there too, right? And then we'll even figure out a way of getting you some music if we need to. If you don't have access to your own, I would suggest Artlist. But if you don't want to spend the money on it, tell us the style you're looking for, and we'll send you a sample of it. Kick it back to us, and we'll drop the premiere final version in for you, or whatever you want to do. We'll figure that part out. Point is, what we want to do is pick the top 3. From the top 3, we're going to put the footage out there, rather. Let you download it, cut it however you want, grade it however you want. We don't even care. Just put it together. Less than 2 minutes. So you could do it in 10 seconds. You could do it in a minute 30. You could do it in 30. You could do it in a minute. I don't care. Less than 2 minutes. We'll take that content. We'll help you with the music if you need help with it, just like throwing it in if you don't have your own. And then we're going to put them up and let people vote. And we're going to have the people's vote. And we're actually going to go to a jury. We're going to have a jury. So one of them is Scott Lumpkin. If you IMDb that dude, you can see what he's done. He just did Jackie Chan's The Foreigner, which I haven't seen yet, but looks like a pretty good movie.
Well, now that we've announced the other one,
he did Mary with the Gary,
the Gary Oldman stuff.
Gary Oldman, he's a friend of ours. He was my mentor when I was a young guy. I'll get Scott to watch it. I'll get an attorney friend of mine who's an entertainment attorney, an insanely good indie producer. So her name's Stacy. So Stacy's going to see it. I'm also going to show it to my friend Marcia. Marcia did Boomtown, which that's all that matters. Boomtown's my favorite show of all time. So my point is, we're going to put it in front of some people and have a jury look at it, and they'll have a vote, and then we'll let you guys vote. And the winner, and because we have no money, but it's a heartfelt championship, a winner will get, of course, CRFTSHO sticker, right? One of these gimmicks. But there'll also be the Baby Seal Troll. There'll also be the Baby Seal Troll Force videos. Man, I am just done. Sticker. I've been driving since 6 a.m., kids. There'll be a Baby Seal Troll Force sticker that we also have, and we will include those. But we'll make them extra special and make them magical, meaning we will make sure that those only exist in a very, very special way. We'll even have a winner sticker. Point being, once we do that, it's finding that through line, and then we celebrate that individual. And then as we get other crap, I will find a way of further rewarding whoever wins. Point is, if you want to take the challenge, I will post the links. When we do the replay, it'll be up there. I'll put all the links for you to download the packet. It won't be that many shots. I'll let you figure it out. And if you want to cut it in your own, great. I'll also, and Jeff has also agreed, if you would like for us to do up to 30 seconds of voiceover for you.
Yeah, exactly.
30 seconds of voiceover. You have to send us a script. We'll schedule a time. We'll record the voiceover, send it back to you. Boom, done. If you want voiceover from me and Jeff, only because we might be connected to that video. Otherwise, you can do whatever you want, right? I don't really care. We will pick the top 3. We will show it to the jury, let them look at the top 3, and then let you guys vote on the top 3. And when we're done, we'll announce a winner, and they will get a prize package worth something. We don't know what. We don't have a ton of money. We're a Gh5s rumor. We're going to give away...
Right now, that's very valuable.
A Gh5s rumor.
Not so much.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
There's a time limit.
So the prize will be a Gh5s rumor.
There we go.
Or a VHS. That sounds good. Yeah? We have some pretty good ones.
Yeah, I was thinking of a really good VHS.
Yeah, we have some pretty good VHS. We have a good VHS collection. All right. So, what do you guys think about the through line thing? Say whatever you want. Throw it in the comments if you have any questions or thoughts or whatever. You can always reach out and cock to us.
I don't want to cock to you at all. I wasn't avoiding you. I was hoping that one would just go over and beyond into the corner somewhere.
YouTube gets everything. These are the smartest human beings in the world. at CRFTSHO, the CRFTSHO channel. As soon as we stopped talking about the Gh5s, subs went down. There's only 3 people watching. I'm just kidding.
There's not. There's more than 3 people talking right here.
Yeah. Do some voiceovers for an ad or 2. Make some real money. Yeah. I've done some voiceover work.
He does quite a bit of voiceover work sometimes. Not anymore.
Can I have Tarantino on the jury?
Yeah.
Nope.
We have no connection to Tarantino.
Editing challenge, that's right. How do you get guys define art? I don't. I can't define art, personally. Because it's all subjective. It's so subjective,
very
I
subjective.
just can't. I can't do it.
Victor Bart, so only your material can be used. I personally...
It probably is best, yes, for this one. This first
Yeah.
contest, only
Okay.
our material.
I'll
Fair enough. Until we work out all the kinks, only our material.
It's a good, yeah.
It's all about the through line. So
Yeah,
if I
it is.
allow you to change the through line of what's existing, that's the
Yeah.
challenge, is can you make a through line from nothing? And some of this was shot half-ass.
Yeah, all right.
I
So
was
I
drunk
got
the
a
entire
couple
time.
little up here. Losing space. I'm sorry. This is from a while ago. W ? Absolutely right. No idea. About telling a story. What happened with the film scene this group was supposed to make?
We're still working
still
on
working
putting
on
that
that.
together.
Yeah.
I ran into a couple of snafus with the armored truck, but we're still going to do the film scene. I'm working on it.
How much padding is usually in a budget to accompany reshoots?
None.
Drew Hall movies, absolutely.
Yeah, and ours done. So there's a contingency that is made. Now, bigger studio features, they typically
Not
have...
necessarily always just for reshoots, though.
No.
Contingency.
No, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like, the studio features will have a
Some of-
reshoot
yeah,
budget
they
already
do.
assigned.
Yeah, they do.
And so it goes into a contingency fund, if you will.
Yeah.
But typically, contingency on larger budget movies is anywhere from 7 to 15%, upwards of 20 in some cases, but typically 7 to 15%. And that money is used for those reshoots. If it's like a medium-sized film. Studio features, it's a complete different issue. Sometimes on studio features, they're going back to the pond to get more water, and by water I mean money, and they have to go back in. So like Star Wars with, not Trevinoff, what's his
Han
name?
Solo.
No, well, Han Solo is a great example.
Yeah.
They had a huge amount of
Because they had
reshoots.
to almost
They
shoot
fired the
the
two
whole entire
directors, and then they had, they almost reshot the entire
almost
film.
did
They
a
also,
whole
what's the
different
Rogue?
budget.
Gareth Edwards.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Rogue One
Yeah.
had reshoots, but those were reshoots based on, they tested it, they didn't like the way the film
Yeah.
looked, so Disney fronted that money. The other ones that I've been on or been around that were smaller budget, $7 to $10 million budget movies, the distributors paid for half, and the contingency fund paid for the other half.
Yeah.
The reason reshoots are frustrating for a lot of producers is that the producers get a cut of the contingency sometimes when it's done. So if they lose that bonus, that's their bonus check. They get, 10 or 15% of that money. So, if your contingency on a $10 million movie is, 7%, that's a chunk of change.
It is.
And usually that means they probably have like 3 or 4 days of contingency or of reshoots available to them. So they really don't get a ton. So they have to shoot it right. The challenge is in reshoots, it used to be that people saw reshoots as a big negative, but in reality, they're not. Sometimes it just happens. There's so many new events and so many problems and so many rules on making a movie now in terms of like regulations.
there is.
Not rules, regulations, that sometimes you just miss things.
Quick thing.
Yeah.
We're not updating over there.
Yeah, copy. Sometimes
It's
you
been
miss
that
that
way for a
stuff.
while, but-
Yeah, it's fine.
Sorry, everybody.
Go back and read the whatever.
Yeah.
Charbox, how long have you guys worked together? Technically,
You
we went to
all the way
high
back to
school together.
1996 for work
Yeah.
with a big gap.
Yeah. But technically, we went to high school together.
Yeah.
We've been in bands since high school. So we have that connection early on. And then as far as working together goes,
Really, truly, because 96, like 96
professionally
and
in
97.
film, in cinema.
Yeah.
Because you weren't into cinema.
No. Well, I did
initially.
scout with you for a little
Yeah.
while at the very, very beginning. Then I was gone. I would say, what, 7
7 years.
7 years? 7, 8 years?
About 7 or 8 years, yeah.
Yeah, we've been working together from a work capacity.
From a traditional... Yep.
We've been friends since 1992. 91? 92.
Yeah.
91, actually. In 91. Charbacks, which instruments did you play? Was the band good?
The band was Awesome Sauce. That was the name of the band. I'm just kidding.
No. We've had some good bands and
We
some
were in a- we-
terrible bands. And
I played a guitar, which I'm terrible at, 3-chord punk, with mostly punk rock bands of some sort. And we had a band called 6 Foot Dracula, I'm not making this up.
That's true.
Actually, funny enough,
Not making it up at all.
we had a band called 6 Foot Dracula.
That's just you, though. Ah, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Good.
a band called
Actually,
6
I'm not embarrassed
and
by
our
my
favorite
photos.
song was Cigarette Headache, which
Yeah.
is like if you smoke too much, you get a headache. This photo, it's blurry, so it doesn't really matter, that I just found is me playing drums in a band called Haganaka, which was emo punky crap. Yeah.
I wouldn't call it.
Did you have many groupies? I feel like Charbox is slightly... yeah, we did grunge too.
We
Peachy.
did some, yeah. We
had
did
some
punk, grunge.
but mostly
yeah.
punk. Like, in the States during that time, grunge got to be very popular, so punk was a better avenue. We were also in a ska metal
Yeah,
band
we were in a ska metal band.
called the Men of Shevitz. It was
Yeah.
Jewish punk, although there's only one Jewish member, me.
No, Jay was in it.
Oh, Jay was in it. You're right.
Jay was in it.
Jay's more Jew than me, though. That's true.
Jay definitely is more Jew than you are.
Yeah. Yeah, we did not have... Yeah, we had groupies. We had girlfriends. But that was as far as it went.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pool heads. Was there any other technical crap? I don't like talking about that.
One more. Any issues with work-life
Ow.
balance? It's actually a really great question.
That's a great question.
Yes. There are issues. Work is most of our lives. The only good thing is both of our wives also somewhat work in this industry.
Yeah.
Your wife does.
Yeah.
Way more than mine does, but mine did. So they both understand. And from what I understand, are very supportive of what we do. Sometimes. Most of the time.
Mine's mostly in.
Partially. And my wife gets pissed off at me quite a bit sometimes. Yeah.
It's the hours, though.
Yeah, it's the hours and doing what you love.
Yeah. Yeah, so my work-life balance is the hardest part now for me is that I have 2 children, and so it's a matter of figuring out how I can spend time with them because I want to be around them, but also I have to pay my bills because, again,
Yeah.
YouTube isn't a profession for us, but the content we create outside of YouTube is. The Panasonic job is a prime example. Me and Jeff were literally in here for 12 days straight. I would
almost
go,
24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, we were here literally all day, every day.
Yeah.
And I would go home for 2 or 3 hours to see my kids and help my wife, like give her some relief. Play with the kids, give them a bath, put them to bed, eat dinner, come back up. So it comes in bursts. I think it's more a matter of the reality of the situation is unless I'm doing a project, and this is really, we've been me and my wife took that vacation for personal reasons, but like we literally have been talking about a lot. So like unless I'm doing a project that is really what I feel like is impacting the world, or it's for this channel, and I'm not just being obsequious to use my $5 word. If it's for this channel, she understands why it's important to me, and she also understands when it's a job that I think is going to help the world and reshape. Otherwise, none of this stuff really matters. Like, it really doesn't. Like, making movies, entertainment's important, I agree, but I just don't see it. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day that much. It brings some joy to people, and I think that's cool, but there's so many other challenges out there that I think if you can supplement entertainment with some sort of inspirational, positive message of putting out good stuff, not just content. I'm talking about good vibes, like encouraging people. That's a different beast. So that's the only caveat to the work-life balance. Work-life balance is
there is
the
a
idea.
work-life balance as
Jeff
well.
is my work wife.
And he is mine.
But there's that balance inside of that too, though. That's really important. That was a long
But
tangent.
at the same time, there have been times when I have kicked you out of the office, told you to go home and see your kids, and there's been times you've kicked me out of the office to go see my wife.
Yeah.
Mine was a different situation for a little while, as Drew was when he was on the road a lot. When I was down here, my wife was still in D.C., so I'd have to go every couple of months and go see her. But now we're back together in one spot, which makes it much easier. Yeah, we never did answer one question though. In most of the bands that we played in, going back to that for real quick, Drew played drums, I played bass.
Yep.
I
sang in the first band. I was the
sang in a
front.
couple of them actually.
I sing in a lot of them, but I mean, I was the front man in the first one.
Yeah.
For Cigarette Headache.
Let's go back here because people were asking. So, what was your top non-stop editing time? I guess for how long did you edit?
Like
for
cut,
one
like
time?
cutting, like. But I don't know what that means. Like if we
I don't
define
either.
editing as cutting, so for cutting, my God, I don't know. Convergence. I had a 14-hour day of editing with Shane.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Like during an ice storm, it was chaos.
Y'all did that.
I work in advertising, Russ. I totally get it. I work mostly in advertising. I get it. I think art's very important.
We really do, yeah.
I totally am with you on it. I'm not trying to
Art's very
downplay it.
important. It's just, it's very subjective.
Yeah. The catch to advertising over film for me is that in the commercial film world, when you just go get a paycheck and you go home and you bitch and complain about how much you hate this producer or how bad you're getting treated on a film set, I think that's stupid, and that's the stuff that frustrates me. Versus, in some cases, in advertising, you make an argument for at least I'm helping someone's dream. So if someone, big business is different, but like some of the smaller clients we've had, we've taken risks on them and taken pay cuts to really help them in order to see that they have a chance to grow their business because they really believe in it. That's the whole point behind the small batch creative thing, is finding people to connect to it. We're not helping push their business, but I mean, some of these people, like they put their lives on the line because of something they're very passionate about. And I think that should be celebrated. And again, at least that's providing inspiration across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cutting. It was 14 hours. I had a 14-hour day of feature film cutting because we had delivery for a feature. It was a Convergence.
Yeah.
That was me and the editor, so I wasn't.
You weren't editing. You weren't the one actually.
I was the
cutting.
director, so I had an editor there.
But it was a cutting session.
But if you want to talk about another full editing day, the longest we ever had was 32 hours, which would have been Sons of Liberty. Because I was cutting scenes. Short? Yeah.
No, I'm thinking of the
delivery.
Yeah, the terrible delivery.
And then we had VFX delivery days where we had to cut those scenes in, and so the VFX team was having a tough time with it. They were on site. It was just like a roto thing, but it was brutal.
Yeah.
And we were all tired, so we literally had a delivery deadline that was a 32-hour edit.
Night.
And then the render and all the output, it came out to like 38 hours or 39 hours or something insane.
That was an all night, all day. That was you. My worst one actually was I commissioned a Hallmark movie. Me and Bradley colored another colors. Dual colored for 28 hours straight.
Oof.
And we colored almost the whole film.
Did it start falling apart after a while?
Actually, it didn't, because I did part, gave it to him, he did part, gave it to me, so we checked each other's work throughout the whole thing.
Oh, that's interesting.
And it was for a client review. It wasn't for a final deliverable, though.
Yeah.
It was for the review. Worst hard drive or SD card failure you've had before backing up?
I don't know if you saw the episode when I talked about I lost an entire feature film.
That actually might be our worst one, yeah.
It was a $1.5 to $2 million budget movie, gone, that I then had to rebuild by hand using our daily process, so we had to rebuild the whole film from zero. So that was the worst.
We didn't actually lose, we lost everything you had done.
Yeah.
We still had a backup of the original footage that I had. We didn't lose.
No, but we still lost.
It was still probably the most terrible loss that we've had.
Yeah, because I can't recall some of the VFX shots. I can't rebuild those.
Outside of that, we changed cards so much that we really don't. We've never had a true, a whole card kind of loss.
One of my big things about the Gh5 as a plus is the dual card slot. Same thing Evil 1 has. I like the redundant feature. If we're shooting somebody like Gary, when we shot good old Uncle Gary Bear, as we affectionately call him, not to his face. When we filmed Gary, we had the dual redundancy and a show gun. It seriously was card A, Panasonic card B, and a show gun, just to make sure we got it. There was no problem, because I don't get a second chance at that kind of interview. And so we had to be very thoughtful about how we approached it. So that's a plus for the Gh5. Evil 1 has it. I don't know how many other cameras. I come from the red side. C100s have that crap. But, not in the 4K element that we're after.
Pinner. Hey, Pinner.
What's up, Sean?
He just showed up. What did I miss? Quick recap. Drew, being Drew. Gh5s.
I talked about Asheville, Sean. That's all that matters.
Asheville. Our contest, editing contest.
We have an editing contest, Sean. I don't know if I'm allowed. You're not allowed to enter.
I don't think Sean should be allowed.
Just because clearly we use the Panasonic. We call them the Panavision cards. We use Panavision cards.
Yeah, we do that because everybody
the Delkin
calls
the Delkin
V90s.
V90s.
64 gigs.
Yeah, they're all right.
Yeah, they're all right. Yeah, I was gonna say something. I totally forgot, but whatever.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, we should probably wrap it up. We actually have business we have to get done. Twice, Black Magic, Ursa has had cards. Ooh, Melt and Sacramento Heat. Sacramento's not even that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have 2 Panasonic cards
Yeah, we have
total.
2 Panasonics total.
2 Delkin 64
Delkins and
V90s total, and then 2 Lexar
Lexars.
1000s that we use for everything else.
Yeah, but we have had twice now screw up on us.
The Delkins and the Lexars.
Yeah, both of them have screwed up.
Not the Panavisions.
The Panasonics have
The Panavision cards are the best cards on the planet.
Panasonic cards.
Panavision.
You're pulling me here. Everybody here says Panny, and I think it's Panavision.
I know. We call them Panavision cards because they're so damned expensive.
Yeah, that's true. 108 degrees, Sacramento.
All right, never mind.
Yeah.
You can have it.
Let's see. Hold on. What do you use for backup from computer? We did this on one show, didn't we?
Yeah, have you guys...
Well, we do those for small.
These ultra rare now.
Yeah.
It's a Thunderbolt Caddy, and this is just a drive that you could buy spares of, connect together, and they're nice little transport drives. But we actually... I'll just talk about it. Where is it? Is it connected on your desk? Or is it over here?
No, it's over there, yeah. Well, we have 3 different systems. We have that. We have Promise Pegasus raids. That's what we usually work off of. But we also have backups through the raid systems.
So, we have these VHS boxes.
Yeah.
Drive boxes. And what we do is we have a raw drive. You guys have probably seen these. And we use a drive dock. And we do that gimmick. And so what happens is we double these up.
Yeah.
So every piece of footage or every client, some clients have their own drive depending on the circumstance, but it gets put onto 2 separate drives, and then we back them up so that you have 2 of these. We pull them once a month and check them, usually because our clients are asking us to pull footage from them. We pull them. There are copies that live on this, so that's a Promise 28 terabyte.
Yeah, no, that's 36.
36 terabyte.
Yeah, I'm running 12s.
Jeff runs 12. So we back up our content onto those. So that's the working drive, and then it all gets archived. We used to have a big fiber network, but the company that we were in business with that fiber network has since killed it.
That was
This
our
is made
offsite.
by OWC. It's called a drive dock. Super cheap. It is the best, most affordable backup solution that we found.
Yeah.
To complement it, we have a thing called Drive...
Yeah, the archiving.
Disk catalog maker that actually catalogs everything that's on these, so we make sure that our naming structure, that's very important to me and Jeff. So then we can actually search it offline. So I can search for what I'm looking for. Like, this is our OWA client who's an amusement park local to us.
Yeah.
So we can type in OWA, and then I can type in, Thunder or whatever, Rolling Thunder roller coaster, and I can pull up all the footage we've ever labeled that way.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times they want to do recalls. I don't know how much client work you guys do, but clients love to recall old footage instead of just shooting something new, even though it's frankly cheaper to shoot it new.
Yep.
Whatevs. Post money is post money.
Yep.
So we do that. So that's kind of our archival process from a big standpoint.
Yeah.
All the other server stuff is great. It's just expensive, and you got to have a maintenance issue with that.
You do. Sully, I will hit you up by the end of the weekend, buddy. Yeah, Russ, I found a lot of people in LA also use G-Raids. I was DITing a movie with a very large production company or a large post house in LA, and we had 4 different G-Raids fail on us during the shoot. So I have not used G-Raids since, neither have they. They actually switched to the Lacey's, which I know a lot of people don't like either. So I think it just comes down to personal preference, really, and what you've had work for you. I've never had Promise Pegasus completely fail on me. They're RAID systems.
No.
I've had drives go out before, but
they're
drives
drive all the time.
Yeah. So yeah, 8 terabyte drive, Cyber Monday, $149. It's not a bad price right there.
You're right. No. Just for you,
Scott R. Yeah.
All right, we should probably close it up. If you guys have any questions or thoughts, I really hope you'll take me up on the offer for the little contest. I think it is fun. It's a great way to get some of the original stickers that will only exist it'll probably be Patreon of a certain level, which will be higher up for this size or this look of them. And then, we would just like to make them special in any way. I think it would be a fun concept to push you through a through line to help you grow. It helps us grow. I'm curious to see what you could do with it. I shot the footage, and it's interesting to me to see what an editor can do with it. But helping you guys identify a through line, if you have a chance, check it out. That said, if you want to shoot us emails, drew@craftshow.com, jeff@craftshow.com. Shoot us emails. We'll keep the chat open for a few minutes. It probably will stay open on its own, but whatever.
Yeah.
I'm going to bail out because I've got like 20 emails I got to go answer. I've been gone for way too long, and work's piling up. So,
yeah.
Anything else?
Pinner, just call us or email either of us. You know how to get in touch with us.
Yeah.
Let's pick our brains.
Thank you guys very much for everything, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye. The Viking goes back on the shelf.
Yes.
Elf on the shelf. Viking
Till
on the shelf.
Espen comes back next time.
That's right. Later.